Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Tyranny. Last episode, we happened to make our way up here to the top of the spire and did some exploration. A new spire is under our control and we have this forge going on that will allow us to get some very nice gear, weapons, and the like. I could even actually ask him... Which is it? Pride of the Forgotten. Since only Barrack can equip this... You know what? I have enough. We'll have him forge it. Your recruits have begun crafting. It'll be finished eventually. And when it is, we'll pick it up. That'll be nice. For now, let's go back down and get through the rest of the old walls down here. It must have been another path we didn't see. And just a reminder, this is the last episode where I kind of already know what's going on because I screwed up the recording, but, oh, that's the way we go. We'll see how it goes. And that is...
Have a look here.
Yeah, please take care of that. Okay, I love how everyone else kneels down and carefully picks at it, and Kills in Shadow basically just smashes the thing. That's nice. Alright, let's see here. Well, I've got a switch here, which basically goes out the same way we came in. And... okay, I'm guessing we need to get the right pattern here, or things are going to show up and attack us. Is this Garn? Nope. Here comes an attack, probably. Yep, there's an attack. Kill him, please. Very nice. You actually got several attacks out. Not exactly time to do static charge. You static charged her hands. Okay, is it Ambeer? Nope, prepare for another attack.
Heads up, we're company.
Why can't I hit anything?
Okay, that was effective. Now for this one. Okay, there go those two.
Best
Nice.
to treat wounds like stubborn nails. Keep hitting with stick until properly obedient.
I mean, I guess that's one way to do it. Saphir? Yes. Let's see, this one is Garn? Yeah, that one's Garn. You know what? Let's trigger the last one. Yep, here we go. Two Malices. Oh, that is powerful and deadly. Cast that, please. You, cast that, please. Okay, you definitely need to get a heal on it now. Thank you. Okay, now for the other one. And there we go.
Right.
Alright, so I believe what we need here is the Ambeer. Yep, there we go. Okay, moving on. What have we got in here? And we have another trap.
Have a look here.
And a chest to open.
Might we not simply break it?
Nobleman's Bracers and Plan Scorn. These plans explain the process of forging the legendary javelin Scorn. The plans make mention of a mysterious metal that is required for the javelin's tip. This item can be created with access to a Spire Forge upgrade and proper materials. Okay. We'll have to investigate that.
Do you have eyes on this?
And we have another trap to disarm. Excellent. Continuing on. I expect trap. We have Grave Bow. Ooh, this is another legendary. Fire a brilliant arrow. All enemies in its path take damage and are blinded. Any Bane who are struck trigger a small explosion that deals arcane damage to all Bane in the area. These effects scale with the Grave Bow's renown. Grave Bow is such a storied weapon that it was long ago written off as a myth. As many contradictory stories of its origin exist as those of its previous users and final resting place. The more recent claim that an Archon of Turmoil wielded the bow in a war to single-handedly destroy the Bane. Some accounts posit that hundreds of bows of differing power share the title of Grave Bow, which has confused the weapon's history and deeds over time. The oldest claim that Grave Bow predates the Old Walls themselves, though none of these claims can be substantiated. A poem claimed to have been taken by charcoal rubbing at the exterior of an Old Walls posits that Grave Bow might one day loose an arrow with such force that the Old Walls themselves will crumble, and the surrounding spires will fall like matchsticks. The validity of the source is questionable at best, as the author presented no rubbing and failed to recall the site in which he took it. Whatever else Grave Bow might be, its string thrums and pulses with energy, desperate to be released. Oh, that is very nice. Very good and useful against Bane. And that's the Light Stone, and we have an attack.
Creep softly and
A Wisp and a Malice.
swiftly to kill.
Okay, get the Wisp dead quickly. And now for the Malice.
Felt nothing.
Come on, we can get this thing dead. It's just one. There we go. And we have a glowing rune. Sigil of Spell Surge. Accent that causes spells to reduce recovery for a short time after being cast. That actually sounds very useful. Alright. Well, with everything done here, now we can return back to get out of here. Just gonna run back and finally open up the thing and fight the horrible demonic Bane creature that is clearly hidden within and is going to be a big problem. It's gonna be a hell of a fight. We'll need to cast all the preparatory spells we can. Crystal and the Beacon is not responding to torch keys from these Old Walls. My guess is that this and the other one need a different... Need torch keys from other Old Walls, because a sigil that is glowing overhead looks different from the one in these Old Walls. We'll have to come back sometime in the future to see it. It'll be interesting when we do. Oh boy, this is gonna be rough. I just know it. And I'm pretty sure there's gonna be more Bane that burst out of there. I mean, it can't just be that simple. Let's see. Cold Keystone here.
Interesting. Is it reasonable to describe an ethereal cloud as angry? Because I think you're making it angry.
You'd think it would already be angry.
That orb appears one breath away from collapsing. Since being sensible and abandoning the scars aren't options, might I suggest drawing our blades?
Yeah, I'll definitely be keeping my blade prepared. Let me just save before we open this, as this is gonna be rough, I imagine. Actually, you know what? Since we can get some spells out and prepped first, let's do that, why don't we? That sounds like a very good idea. You cast a spell. You cast a spell on yourself. And you cast a spell also on yourself. And also, let's cast that on yourself, and you can cast that on her.
Right.
And here we go!
More tallies to the body count.
Right, let's get this thing dead as quickly as we can. Rather you didn't cast that then. Okay, it works. And here we go, we have allies. We have more enemies showing up. That's what I wanted to see. Do try and kill that thing as quickly as you can. And we have more showing up. Can you get any other abilities? Actually, yes. Iron Storm. That might not be a bad idea. How about you send that out? I think we actually killed it. No, we didn't kill it.
I'll be...
How about you use that on the thing? It's absorbing energy, which is not good.
Fear nothing. Fear nothing.
Okay, we need this.
On your command.
Now,
Time stop.
that's not good.
Gentlemen, feast my iron!
Can you use any other abilities? Not now. You? I mean, that's something.
I'll be filling that one for a bit.
Please try and kill this thing.
I'm getting too old for this.
I think we've almost got it.
Built for this sort of violence.
Is it still alive? It is still alive.
No,
God
wait,
damn.
it's blood.
Fight better next time.
Take that!
I feel...
And we lost our healer. That's not good.
Come and feast my... I'll do it for the North.
I know my own strength.
Please try and kill this thing as quickly as you can. Oh god, we got another one. This is bad. And it's still alive and it's got more health. And we're failing. Okay, let's try that again, but with hopefully less dying. Right, let's get those preparatory spells up and such again.
Will do.
I'll take care of it. As you command.
And here we go! And now we have a load of attacks.
Fear nothing.
Appears to have vanished for a moment there. You could do with the healing of yourself. Okay, that's not good. Okay, I'm just gonna try another reload here for a second because there's almost no way we're gonna survive this. Yeah, no way. Reloading. Funny enough, the last time I did this, I basically got through in one go. I don't know how it's becoming so much harder this time.
I will aid you.
Will do.
Consider it.
Heads up, Whip.
Alright, charge in, deal with it quickly.
How it's done.
No, don't use that yet.
Consider it done.
Just attack the thing.
Pray, it's hard.
Take me if you can.
Now you can do the freezing touch.
A new dent.
I said now you can do the freezing touch.
Still got it.
Okay, we got 2 of them down.
Take me if you can.
Okay, clearly I need to keep you out of there. You two probably need to stay away from that.
It's time to hunt to kill.
Okay, I think we could use this.
That's a hit.
Admit that from
Okay, we are still doing damage.
I'm not entirely.
I think this time we're doing it a little better. Yeah, definitely heal yourself. Oh, that's bad. Hold on, you can do that.
Good work.
Filthy hands off me.
That's fine. That's fine. I don't need that for strike.
Okay, please finish this thing as quickly as you can.
My armor is dented. Let me repair it.
Is that ink?
I think we... Nope, it's still alive.
My armor
Definitely heal yourself
is
now.
dented. Let me repair it.
More force than was necessary.
Okay, we lost someone, and we lost 2. Not exactly targeted for that, but I think we got this.
Can't take much more of this.
A level up in the middle of combat. Sure, I'll take that.
Pay attention, kids. You might learn something.
Please finish the thing. Okay. We got it. Oh, that was a hell of a fight. And I'll gladly take Lantry's level up. I think the extra health might be useful. As for the ability, Gift of Moments. Lantry skips forward, vanishing from combat and healing. Upon his return, he releases a wave of energy that reduces recovery of nearby allies. I think we can take that. That sounds like it would be useful. Now let's loot the thing. Recipe Waking Death. This recipe describes the process for growing a powerful mushroom known as Waking Death that can prevent death. This mushroom can be grown with access to a spire infirmary upgrade and proper materials. Useful! We've also got Rending Edge, which I don't think is useful, and the Steadfast Insignia. Fashioned in the likeness of a stalwart battle standard, this emblem was worn by every First Regent since the realm was carved from the Stone of the Tears. Originally nothing more than an officer's finery, the Steadfast Insignia swelled in the popularity as those who wore it earned their deserving titles as war heroes. The insignia developed a reputation as the architect of victory over time, and the secret of success on the battlefield. As its recognition grew, the armies of Stalwart learned to rise up against any odds when the insignia was present, a streak that held with admirable consistency until the insignia was lost amid Stalwart's war against the Northern Empire. Alright. Well, I think we can leave now. Oh boy, that was rough. Let's get out of here. Oh boy. I'm amazed at how slow some of us takes to level up. It seems odd. Like, Lantry's leveling up immensely, but I'm leveling up so slowly. Oh, a missive. Okay, that one's almost done. May knowledge survive. Dear Fatebinder Jason Pendragon, may this missive find you in able health. I write to you in hopes of striking a bargain with the court. By the laws of Kairos, I am a purveyor of lies. In my work for the School of Ink and Quill, I have written many texts, and while some of the particulars are at odds with history as taught by those loyal to Kairos, I truly believe that our work is not blasphemous nor treasonous, and does nothing but exemplify the inevitability of Kairos. It is not my place to say what is and isn't worthy of censor. That duty, if I understand correctly, is yours. My offer is this. If you would preserve my texts, I would submit my neck to any sentence you deem worthy without protest. My life is worth little compared to the texts that require the life's work of countless sages. I understand such writings will likely need to be kept in a vault far from offending eyes, but if I can be assured our written echoes will live on, my flesh and blood are the court's to discard. If you are amenable to my offer, seek me out. My current whereabouts are far from the ruins of the Vellum Citadel. See the reverse of this parchment for instructions. If you make your way to the location directed, I will seek you out. Glory to Kairos, Sage L. On the reverse of this missive is a charcoal sketch of what appears to be a small keep built alongside mountain foothills. A map of the tiers is drawn in the corner, with a circle that seems to indicate this location is in the Bastard Tier, north and east of the Bastard City. Let's see. We can send a terse affirmation. It is not my plan for my arrival and be prepared to face judgment. Simple. Or politely agree. Your request is a bit unorthodox. If you are aware of your role in creating forbidden lore, surely you must know that asking me to harbor such things is asking me to take your crime upon myself. But I am not without reason or mercy, and I will at least hear out all that you have to say in person. Or request more information. Dear Lord or Lady L, if you are sincere in your desire to surrender to the court, you are welcome to visit Tunon, Archon of Justice, and seek audience with him at the Bastard City. I assure you the Archon sleeps very little, and time will be made for a proper hearing. Beggars cannot be choosers, and the guilty ought not to bargain when their only currency is guilt. Perhaps if you could provide me some more insight to your situation, I'd be less inclined to assume this is some sort of trap. Or send a refusal. Dear Sage L, one does not haggle with the law. If you are a peddler of falsehood, you will perish, and your written lies will follow. I think a request for more information is reasonable. So, moving on. We can get out of here. Oh, there's people here. So the old walls didn't best you. Not this time, at least. Tricorius stands amidst the bodies of the Unbroken. He shrugs with a knowing smile. Well, we both know it's all for the good of the war effort. I don't know how much Tunon chooses to overlook when it comes to his Fatebinders, but I'm sure you know what you're doing. I hope you managed to find the Steadfast Insignia in there. He glances over your shoulder to the old walls. Myself, I'd find another way into Sentinel Stand before I went inside there. To each their own. I have the Steadfast Insignia. Capital work! You should take it to Graven Ash and offer your report. Be sure that artifact doesn't fall into the hands of any Unbroken. That is my intent.
Right.
Before we leave, however, let's speak to Hieronymus. You've returned! Hieronymus blinks in surprise. I mean, I obviously knew you'd return. Just pleased to see you is all. He swipes one of several quills sewn into his upper sleeve and dabs the squib. Tell me of your experiences. In your own words and time, please. I found the stones of elucidation. Hieronymus's eyes widen in delight as he examines the stones. Fascinating. I had expected to see a few duplicates with existing specimens. He examines each stone, wrapping them in linen and swaddling with care. Thank you, my friend. This will prove vital to our understanding of the glyphs used by the builders of the old walls. You've done more than I could have ever expected, and with only my humble offerings as rewards. What have the stones taught you? Nothing yet. In theory, each one can be used to help decipher some encrypted text, but there's no telling which stone can complement which text. It's all very dry and boring, I'm sure. Rest assured they're very important. I'm not a young man, and if I keep getting sent on missions like these, any research I carry will be lost. Take a copy with you. I hope you find it useful. And... Level 3. Reputation ability unlocked. Arcane Understanding. Plus 10 defense against spells. Excellent. That works very well. Okay then. Moving on. Actually, before we actually visit, I'm taking a quick trip to the Ocean Spire. No. Yes, we're going to do a rest in there, because I feel like we should. Much of the day is spent navigating through a dense metallic forest. The strong roots of the ancient sagewood kept the trees standing after the Edict of Storms hit, their large boughs and branches collecting whatever detritus the wind swept up. What remains is a bizarre dead forest with metal scrap for a canopy. Rusted weapons dangle from above, embedded in trunks and loped through branches. Fragments of armor decorate the tree limbs above you, a clinking mass of rust-colored foliage. You glance upward and catch sight of a finely crafted blade, rust-free and balanced precariously upon some branches high up in the tree. Climb the tree, shake the tree, use force magic to knock down the blade, ignore it and move on. Let's attempt athletics. The first branches are more than 20 feet up, requiring a slow, ponderous shimmy up the trunk, until you're able to reach up to grab hold of an embedded spear, one that supports your weight. You pull yourself higher and make a daring leap to the branches above. As your right hand makes contact, you hear the snapping of brittle wood, but only from one of the branches in your grasp. You dangle for a moment before grabbing hold with two hands. Soon your feet find their way to a sturdy bough, and you are safe. Navigating up the rest of the tree is a much easier affair. The metal decorations make for awkward movement, but you manage a steady pace. Upon reaching the blade, you make a pleasant discovery. Several pieces of intact gear have been swept into the crown of the tree. You unhook and drop the items, watching them as they bounce and plummet to the ground below. A short while later, you're back upon the forest floor, richer for your efforts. Silver core, fairly good two-handed weapon, iron greaves, and heavy bronze cuirass. The iron greaves will be good, the cuirass maybe not as much. Okay. I don't know what it tried to give me just now. Ah, new message. First things first. These iron greaves are going on. The cuirass is not going to change. Silver core. Is it better than this? Cumbersome. Has 20% recovery penalty when wounded. Extra raw damage. Interesting. Not gonna use it though. Let's see. Excuse me. On the subject of spires. Dear Jason Pendragon, your summation is most fascinating. Thank you for sharing. You are certainly not the first to proclaim an edict. Many of us have been used to complete the casting of the Overlord's magic. And you aren't the first to break an edict, though that list of names is a smaller, more exclusive list. What's curious, though, living and recorded memory make no mention of someone who proclaimed and shattered the same edict. In that regard, you are an anomaly. The bad news is the Archons know this, and will be suspicious of this distinction. Along with this parchment, I have included the contact information of the Honorable Fatebinder Myothus, an old peer of mine, and perhaps the most knowledgeable in the court on matters not taught to us by Tunon. Treat her with respect, and she will not betray your confidence. Best of luck, Jason Pendragon. I think things are about to get even stranger for you. Okay. Here we are. Quill in hand, you loom over a blank sheet of parchment. You have Binder Myothis' contact information in hand and contemplate your opening words. Polite introduction. Dear Fatebinder Myothis, I write to you at the urging of my peer and tutor, Fatebinder Rogalus. He has found himself bereft of answers, a rare condition for him, and suggested you may be the only source of the answers I seek. If you will pardon the imposition, it would mean a great deal to learn what you know of Kyrus' edicts and the magic of the spires. The mountain spire of the Tears has awoken to my presence, an event that occurred moments after I resolved an edict of Kyrus, so it's critical that I learn just what has happened to me and what it all means. I thank you in advance for your consideration and wisdom. Or, my name is Jason Pendragon, and I recently resolved Kyrus' edict of execution and claimed the mountain spire of the Tears. I am now the master of Vendrian's Well, and a question mark to many, as it seems awaken the spire has shocked everyone. Rogalus said you are wise and knowledgeable in matters best not discussed in front of the Archons. I seem to have stumbled into ownership of the spire and feel I should learn all that I can about this monument that is now my own. If you will be forthcoming with your knowledge, I promise you will be rewarded when the time comes to show gratitude to the loyal. Or, introduce yourself and send payment. I am Fatebinder Jason Pendragon, and I'm currently serving in the Tears. I recently broke an edict of Kairos, and in roughly the same breath awoke the latent energies in the mountain spire of the Tears. When I told my old mentor Rogalus of these events, he insisted I contact you, hinting that your wisdom exceeds his own. If that's true, I'd be a fool not to heed the advice of someone more worldly than even Rogalus. But I know knowledge is power, and power isn't free. I have enclosed a hand of rings as tuition and tribute, a paltry offering for a respected teacher, but it is a sizable sum to me. Thank you for your consideration. I eagerly await your reply. I think that sounds a fair choice. We'll send it. Let's see. You? Oh, I found these plans and this metal in the old walls. Can you make this for me? These are the plans for Scorn! And you have the metal we need to make it! Yes, I think you can forge something for me. Scorn, where is it? Here it is. Scorn. Your recruits are busy forging Pride of the Forgotten. But it is fairly impressive, and we could make it. 100 hit precision on targets below 35 health. And +1 resolve. That's actually pretty nice. But they are currently busy. I do kind of want to do something.
What is it you need? Of course.
Just a quick thing.
I will
We'll
return to
wait
our holdfast
for
at
a
once.
short while.
I see you
Oh, hey.
there.
Ebb got another level up. I'll take that. I think the ability change would work. No, your resolve is a bit lower than I would have liked, so I'll give one there. And as for skill... yeah, this one. Cascading Embrace. Sounds like a good idea. You, on the other hand, I'm going to give this. It's much better. Reputation ability unlocked. Indeed. It would take a while to improve that any further. I don't believe there's anything here that's going to change. Because I think it's all heavy armor. No, wait, that's a leather, but it's going to be gotten rid of.
One moment.
Right.
Yeah,
Now swamp them back.
I'll tack
Goodbye to
See
you,
you there.
too.
And I can sell a few items. Just a few. Let's see, sell that. Sell that. Sell that. Keep those. Sell that. Keep silver core, rending edge. Okay, the rest of these are all named. Anything here? Yes. And I think that's all. Fair bit of coin. Okay, now, even though this episode's going a bit long, I ended the last episode after reporting in, so that's what I'm going to do. So, we're going to go back to Ironhearth and report in. though I think we may have more missives. We do. Okay, from Sage L. You unfurl the missive to see your reply from earlier. Whether the original sender is lost or dead is unknown, but what is clear is that the carrier bird that first delivered word from the Sage L was unable to find its original sender, and so has circled back to you with your undelivered missive. Okay then. As for this, my dear Jason Pendragon, and they say respect for one's elders is a dying art form. I thank you kindly for the offering, as I have accounts to settle and grandchildren to spoil, and keeping a low profile isn't very profitable. I have enclosed something for you in return. I do so hate to let parchment collect dust, and I figure a younger mind can make use of some of the scrolls haunting my cabinets. I'm now the oldest of the court's children, and I've seen much in my time. It's probably for the best everyone assumes I'm old, harmless, and worth shuffling away in the archives. If I were scrutinized too closely, I'm sure Tunon would find I've grown lax in my spoiled old age. Part of why I am here is that I've kept my head down. You appear to be doing the opposite. In some regards, this is beyond your control. You were chosen for the honor of proclaiming Kyrus's edicts twice. To decline would have meant death, but to accept means to be placed on the stage for all to see. Kyrus's most powerful weapon is not the edict, it's her ability to hand us rope that we willingly use to hang ourselves. Never forget this. There are numerous questions nestled in your request. What is it you wish to know most? Focus your inquiry, and I will answer as best I can. We can inquire about edicts and their nature. Thank you for hearing me out. I have more questions than I have ink, but let's start with a discussion of Kyrus's edicts. I've lived under, proclaimed, and resolved edicts, which makes me far more knowledgeable than the layperson on the subject, and yet I still know so little. Or ask about the spires. It seems wise to know one's own domain, and seeing as I'm now the master of the mountain spire, I ought to learn all that I can. If you would share with me what you know of the spires, I would be in your debt. I'll start with what I know and have observed so far. The mountain spire seemed to awaken at about the same instant that Kyrus's edict of execution was put to rest. There was a burst of arcane energy that drowned out my senses, and I awoke at the summit of the spire in what seemed to be just a few heartbeats of time. Atop the spire is an odd sculpture of sorts, and it seems to be the core of the spire's mystic energy. I've been seeing visions and receiving sensations from the sculpture. It seems odd to describe it as talking to me, but that seems to be the closest analogy. Am I the first to report such findings? There are other spires elsewhere in the world, correct? I think I'll send that one. Spires are the wise idea, I think. Now, once again, episode going longer, but let's report in at last to Graven Ash. And I forgot I was going to rest. Damn it, no matter. We'll speak, then rest, and I think there's a place, yep, there's a spot there I can rest, and then we'll be fine. Fatebinder, no one in recent history has reached the pinnacle of a spire, and yet you step to the top as if they were intended for your occupation. What do you have to say for yourself? I'm still figuring out what it could mean. Take care with your curiosity, then. If the arcana behind the spires has been lost, there is likely a good reason behind it. I would hate to lose a capable agent due to some calamity. What is it you require? I've returned from the Old Wall's breach. And killed the leader of the Unbroken, I understand. You've accomplished much in the name of the Legion, and devotion is a quality that I praise in my soldiers. The Unbroken will no doubt elect another rotted scarecrow to represent their interests. We had best subdue the rest of this realm before they have time to recover from the loss. He strokes his beard and ponders. You put much at stake in plumbing those ancient ruins. Though these lands are not wholly subjugated under the Empire, we are still beholden to Kyrus's laws against entering the Old Walls. I appreciate that you take such risks on my Legion's behalf. We can only hope that this mad scramble for heirlooms furthers the goals of the conquest. I suspect that even mighty Tunon would forgive our transgression if the war depended on it. Do you think this will mean trouble? Not from me. I would have you go to the ends of Taratus if it meant bringing down the voices of Narat, and that includes the Old Walls. If Tunon takes offense to your actions, then I leave you and the Adjudicator to sort out your differences. I recover the Steadfast Insignia, which should allow us to pass the wind wall. The Unbroken were crafty to think that one of their regent heirlooms would circumvent Kyrus's magic, and we will reap the benefits of their foresight. The last of the regions will die, and the Edict of Storms will be dispelled. The subjugation of Stalwart is nearly complete. I'm ready to see if this old trinket gets us through Kyrus' storms. I'm dispatching 2 forces to Sentinel Stand, one led by the Iron Guard Rumelan, and one by Commander Demetrius. We are closer to breaching Sentinel Stand than we've ever been. If you have questions, voice them now. Otherwise, I anticipate your victory against the Unbroken, and the recovery of my daughter. I have nothing to say there. So, I am going to go ahead and rest, and then end this episode. My throat is freaking killing me. Yes, rest for 8 hours. Oh god, I need some water, or ice, or something in my throat. Anyway, with that, I'm finally redone the entirety of what I had here. And next episode, we will continue on to try and put an end to this Edict of Storms. I may be the first one to put an end to 2 edicts, both of which I started. Oh boy, this is going to be something. But that'll be in the next episode, so until then, I am Chester44, that is Jason Pendragon, Barrick, Lantry, and Kills in Shadow. This has been a Let's Play of Tyranny, and I shall see you all next time.